Simon Baker from the Multi-Hull Centre, Multimarine, and we're the builders of the Dazcat Performance Catamarans. We've got Apollo here, Dazcat 1495. Recently came out the water for a bit of winter storage and a few little jobs. I mean, good thing about being out the water is we can obviously get a glimpse of what it's all about. Yeah, so we can see the hull form here of the 1495 with the, I call it the dart sort of skeg keel with the prop coming out. And this is, I'm sure some of you may have heard Darren, our principal designer, talking about the benefits of that and how it is a lovely directional, stable keel for, you know, big offshore wind work. Close tacking when we're on the race course, it just means these boats turn a little slower than the 1295, 1195. But you know, you win some, you lose some.
So what's the difference in the keel shape with the 1295, Simon?
The 1295 doesn't have this dart skeg on it. It's a clean underwater body and just with a rudder. We've got our nets, bowsprit up here, anchor launch. This will have a bridle fitted for deploying the anchor, but you know, it's just tidied away now, keeping everything off the boat clean and tidy for the winter. Coming back underneath, we've got the orange non-slip. If the worst happened, we have to fit this for the World Sailing offshore regulations. Escape hatches here, drains from the cockpit with little flaps to stop any water getting pushed back up. And we've got the life raft stored in this aft box with access from the back, again in case the worst was to happen. So it's accessible from the top and the bottom. We've got Galley 3-bladed prop on a 30mm shaft with their overdrive function. It's quite a nice propeller, this one. We've fitted it to quite a number of boats over the years. We've got our carbon rudder and carbon stock with Jeffer self-aligning needle roller bearings, which does give us a lovely light helm and a very responsive to turn. You may have seen some of the boats we've got the T-foils fitted, which, you know, running around here. We'll probably end up taking to a T-foil boat in a bit. Swim ladder here, which just tucks away into the hull, nice and tidy. Obviously dinghy and davits up there. This boat's got a little SSB sat dome for offshore communication as well. Transom steps, nice long platform access here from the dinghy. Our Apollo here is very nicely detailed with the black and the white. Went to great lengths to get everything coded correctly. So we've got the Sea Smart pop-up aluminium pleats there. All the deck gear has been black powder coated. Long hull window just brings a lovely line to it, really. Still a good looking boat. You can see the rig there, that's 19.5 metres with a P of 18.5, which gives out about 80-85 square metres of mainsail area. Carbon dagger boards, they've got their covers on them, keep the UV off. So here we are, we've just come out the water, out the dinghy, up the transom steps. One feature we did like about the Dazcats is the enclosed cockpit. Many boats have got the walk-through, which is certainly, you know, it's a lovely feature for at the beach and in harbour, but when you're offshore, it feels quite pleasant being, you know, secluded in there. And if you've got young children, when mine were young, we always said, you know, if you as soon as you get outside the cockpit, you've definitely got to have a life jacket on. But if it's a pleasant day and we're just milling around, you know, we're quite relaxed, so we let them be free of the life jackets if they're in the cockpit. A bit of ventilation here into the aft cabins. So looking into the cockpit here, we've got Flexi 2G throughout, lovely finish and great underfoot. Just a nice, simple, clean layout. We can fit seating across the back beam, so it's a choice really of whether you have big wide open cockpit with director's chairs that you can move in and out of the sun as you feel appropriate, or you can end up with a cockpit table and cockpit seating with a bit more storage. So the handrails here, good grip forwards. But this is where the headsail's taken off for the winter. Yeah, we made the bowsprits, the rudders, the dagger boards, make our own mast as well. I mean, this particular mast on Apollo is an Axon mast, but yeah, do lots of our own carbon work. So on Apollo, we've got a winch up the front here as well with tack line for the spinnaker and the Code Zero. That's the way the owner wanted it laid out. Gives the crew direct access to the tack line. On some of the other boats, we run the tack line back to the cockpit. In here, we've got the anchor deployment, windlass, stainless chain, so all readily accessible. There is the Dracula spars from Axon. The halyards exiting the mast, coming back, and all lines led back to the cockpit with a pair of winches both sides, sheeting, self-tacking jib. So this boat really has got many features and functions. It's great for most of the jib, say halyard, bounces halyards really nicely. We've got the jib halyard, main halyard, topping lift, spinnaker, and Code Zero halyards there. This particular boat's got a halyard lock for the Code Zero and carver. The good thing about having a Dazcat is you can really specify them exactly the way you want them. You don't have to, if you've got some strong views about the way you want something to work, we're happy to talk about that. Incorporate it to the design and the build to get the boat that's right for you. Carbon boom, carbon battens. These are little things called hay racks that allow the lazy jacks to be pulled apart a bit further to allow your mainsail to stack nicely. Apollo again has got the switch track on the mast, reducing the stack height. So we've got the twin track here, neatly packs away. That's from Harkin. Bimini, solar panels. Just start exploring the tailor-made solar panels is where we're moving to next, where we can actually get that tiled out and get 660 watts of power on the Bimini. So that's a good number, with the possibility of increasing that if we need to, by using the coach roof and also above the davits. Gives great access to the back of the sail, back of the boom. You can get to this without too much drama. Lazy jacks out to the end of the spreaders as well. Keeps it nice and wide. B&G 2020 displays on the mast there, so from either helm you get a great view, more numbers to play with if that's your thing. Right, so we've got foredeck hatches. Again, choice of how you lay this out. You can either have a big compartment down below, full length all the way up to the crash bulkhead. Some of the boats have just the fender locker on one side. Apollo's got two, so we've also got watertight hatches here from Solomar. So pretty good storage in there. Get all your gear in there. You get spinnakers in here as well. A couple of lockers here. Gas locker, storage there. Similar on the other side. Plenty of space. Flares, warps, cleaning products, you name it. So we've got the helm, three sides, 12-inch B&G on this, H5000 system with graphic there, autopilot control, electric winch buttons. So we've got direct access. You're here on your own carrying out your watch. You've got a jib sheet here, traveller and main sheet. So you've got all your controls, fantastic view up on the rig there, and clear view of both bows. You can see both bows, which is just great. Rear beam, cosy place to sit and perch. Dinghy and davits, makes it feel quite secure offshore really. Talked about the life raft locker from underneath. This is the cockpit access, so quite simple. Up here, the life rafts just gone off for their servicing. Apollo carries two smaller life rafts rather than one big one. Engine controls on the port side here. Options to have electronic controls so you can operate it from both sides. These got Yamaha 30s, 3YM30s, so probably one of the world's favourite engines actually. A good choice. So going inside. It's time to take it in. Right, so let's see if we can flash this one on. Boom. So this is the system booting up now, and our Murphy screen with MPO bus node system. So if we can just turn systems on, That then means all the lights with switches separately are now turned on. Toilets are functioning. Basically a good starting point. So hit that one button, turn your instruments on. Saloon lights don't need today, but we've got them up there and they're dimmable as well. Press and hold to dim. So we've got our conditions of our batteries and discharge current there.
This is an in-house monitoring system, yeah?
Yeah, it's something we've been using for the last 6 years. And really pleased with it, fitting it to all the boats. Great system. This is available either in a 7-inch or a 4-inch screen. So we scroll around, we've got navigation lights, page, turn the button on, get a mimic come up, fairly standard. Fresh water pump, if I turn that on, not actually running, it's alright. When we turn a pump on, you get a little green flashing light so you can actually know that something's running. Tank levels, and then we've got our diagnostics, press and hold for 5, and this then takes us to our node. So PDMs, we've got 4 of them on here, so we can scroll there, and we've got all the channels, the inputs and the outputs, and you can see what's on and not. Next page, so PDM 3, 4, and back out. Lighting levels for the RGB, and with this, the boat carries a USB stick with the program that's on here, so if you're needing to have a new screen delivered, you've still got the software available to reboot it. And then these are the fuses that, again, see, I mean, there's got music system flashing there. The music system is on. Turn the music system off. Music system stop flashing. Right, so on Apollo here, we've also got B&G Zeus screen, water maker, genset, VHF radio, sat phone, Master Vault view. Master Vault have recently brought out a new display, which is a bit easier to get on with. Good access to everything.
Okay.
Right, table up.
Okay, so Apollo is very modern, very sleek. She appears very utility, but she has hidden secrets.
A couple of little features which are quite cute. I've got a remote somewhere, but what we can do is we can make a TV appear and disappear, more to the point. So yeah, great viewing. And then if you want to watch the TV and you want something slightly more comfortable than what we've got here, we can drop the table and turn it into a great big bunk. Put the cushions in and you're there.
So you've got a lovely, great big, huge, snug area for all the family or friends to chill out and either look out through the cockpit or watch telly, listen to music, whatever. Thank you. Both at once. Here we are in the aft owner's cabin. Stay out!
Hello. So yeah, our cabin, owner's cabin. Great space. We've got a door, bit of hanging lockers, port and starboard. Other lockers in here, over here. Access to air conditioning control, heater control. Obviously some 240 and 12 volt charging.
And huge storage under the bunk as
well?
Yeah,
two great big round access hatches, so you've got real good long-term storage underneath the bunks. The bunk is 2 meters by 1.6, so a generous bunk. Ventilation into the cockpit and out aft.
Another big spacious locker there.
Lights here. We can go to red. Got a couple of reading lights on the headboard end.
Yeah.
Close the cabin. Plenty of space for hanging. So yeah, what's that? 3 lots of foul weather gear in there. Access to battery isolation switches. Fire port here if you were to have a fire in the engine room. So with the Dazcats, we like to keep weight as central as possible. So underneath the floor here, we've got main engine, genset, and fuel tank. And on the starboard side, we've got water heating as well, hot water tank. So really good access in, down to your filters, water inlet, battery access. Apollo here has got lithium start batteries for the generator and the main drive engines as well. Visible access to the tank so you can see the number of litres you've got. Further access to the shaft and gearbox shaft. And then finally at the back here is access to the PPS seal.
Well,
I'm only about 5'9.5". I'm only 5'6", and I've got probably a good 18 inches, so even a 6'6" guy would be okay in here. Great little bunk here for spend a bit of time. This is Matt, my brother's favourite bunk when we're offshore. He likes looking out the windows, watching the sea go by. So we've got access into here also for the genset. It's about that weight centralisation. Reduce the pitching, make the boat go faster. And then we've got a pretty generous tight area. So got a basin with a pull-out shower here. We've got another shower actually in the toilet as well. Electric heads, good storage, hatch, more hatches here, ventilation.
wet lockers.
This is your wet lockers. Yeah, got to put the hooks on this winter. So we've got these great mirrors, open up, more storage plus the water tanks in there. So again, a visual check as well. Again, it's just great access to everything. So just take a couple of steps down to the galley, and then we've got lovely clear horizon view all the way around. And if someone else is in there in the saloon taking it easy, you're in the galley, you're not separated. Everyone's at the same eye height, which makes for great social communication. This is about 2.5 meters long, 3-burner hob. Little access into here for plates and cups of tea. And then outboard here we've got the fridge, frigga boat, stainless 160 litres, keel cooler, and then further storage outboard, deep. So microwave, great for the whole packet rice, and then a Ocean Chef oven, which if you know your yacht ovens, they're not exactly the best things, but the Ocean Chef is certainly a brand which is head and shoulders above anything else that you can compare with. So one of the beauties of this little setup here is that this is a modular sink that fits with the oven. So all the components you can take out of the oven and they can nestle in the sink there, and they also then fit in the oven on the trays. So pretty darn good.
No, it's very handy.
There's chopping boards as well to add to that.
Let's get a clear view in here.
The only things here is the water maker in here. Starboard side we've got the Spectra water maker. Again, good access.
And otherwise the same layout, the same setup as the port head. Brilliant. Thank you very much.